internet, unintentional hiatus is over. I am back, and I know you must be dying to find out what was I reading in March and April of 2016. The Starboys was a really fast read taking a look at a group of boys and one girl who form a band at the end of their senior year of high school and decide to go on tour before they're supposed to start college. Laughing at My Nightmare was a memoir about a young man who has spent his whole life in a wheelchair as a result of a type of muscular dystrophy that he has. This guy holds nothing back. Kindred Spirits was an adorable novella by Rainbow Rowell that she wrote for World Book Day. I was lucky enough to get a copy of this from a friend, and it was about a girl who was so excited for the new Star Wars movie she's all pumped up to camp out. Except she gets to the theater 4 days before the movie comes out and finds out she's last in line of a line of 3 people. Through the Woods was a graphic novel, which is something I don't normally read, and it was completely not what I was expecting, because it was all horror stories. Not my particular cup of tea, but my students have been loving it, and I'm really proud of myself for giving it a try. Like so many people around the world lately, I too have caught Hamilton fever, and it put me in the mood to read Founding Mothers by Cokie Roberts. If you thought our founding fathers had interesting lives, wait until you meet their wives and their daughters. I was fortunate enough to get to read an arc of The Long Game, the sequel to Jennifer Lynn Barnes' thriller, The Fixer. If you liked The Fixer, you're gonna love its sequel. The tension is high, you are on the edge of your seat. I flew through this book in a matter of, I think, several hours. A completely emotional roller coaster. I cannot wait until this book is out in the world for everyone to enjoy this summer. Love, Lies, and Spies was a little bit of Jane Austen meets Spies. You have this girl who is trying to be taken seriously and get published as a scientist, but a chance encounter ends up getting her thrown into the world of these 2 gentlemen who are pretty secretive, and they have good reason to be. I finished reading the Starbound trilogy. I read their Fractured Light and The Shattered World. If you like space opera, or if you wanted to give space opera a shot, pick up these books. This series was really great, really heart-wrenching and emotional, and it makes you think a lot about humanity and the choices we make. But, you know, in space. I loved Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, the first book in her new Witchlanders series. And I'm not just saying that because she came to my school last week and she was delightful and wonderful and she's an amazing human being. This is a really quality fantasy story where you have people who have witcheries that deal with the elements, and you have a war, and you have a truce, and you have all of these different factions at play, and if you like being on the edge of your seat and not knowing what's coming, you are going to love this new fantasy series, and I cannot wait for Wind Witch to come out soon, hopefully, soon, yes, please. Even though there's tons of election stuff all over the TVs, I still can highly recommend The Wrong Side of Right. This is a contemporary romance about a girl who thought her dad was long gone. She never even knew the guy, and her mother's dead. But it turns out someone did know who her father was. It turns out he's a senator currently running for president of the United States. The Interestings is an adult novel about a group of friends who spent summers together at a camp, and they keep trying to fight so hard to hang on to the people they were, except they're not really growing up as a result. This one, it was not quite to my taste, but I'm glad I gave it a shot. Life in Motion by Misty Copeland was a really incredible inside look at the world of ballet. It's a pretty much a rite of passage for so many girls to take dance classes and wear a tutu and pretend to be a ballerina, but what does that life really mean, especially for someone who's considered unconventional or untraditional in the ballet world? And I finally finished reading The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I think it was 100 pages long. It felt like 1,000, so I'm glad I got that one out of the way. And in terms of audiobooks, I've been doing a lot of listening lately. First up was P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, because I was in the mood for something Irish with St. Patrick's Day in March. And then I was also listening most recently to Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. I read this book a few years ago and really liked it, and I cannot recommend the audiobook highly enough. Completely engaging, a wonderful narrator, and it made me fall in love with this book all over again. So those are the many, many books that I was reading over the past 2 months. If you guys want to hear about any of them more in depth, please tell me down in comments. I will make a video soon talking about all of the things that kept me away from the camera these last couple of weeks. All of my usual links are down below. Comments are always welcome, and that's it for me for now. Take care. Bye! I'm currently reading The City in the City, The Women Who Lived for Danger, Ransom My Heart, The Raven King, and The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. And if you like what you've seen here today, please like and please subscribe for more.